Hi, I'm Lynn Bridgeford from the Aetherbios Clinic and Aetherbios Yoga, and today in our quick and easy series of workouts we're going to look at the core, the abs. So get comfortable. I will do all different levels. We'll do some standing, some laying, and for people who have trouble standing we're going to do some sitting. So join me in a moment. Sit-ups are something you should only really do if your core is already really strong, so that's fine if you are. We're going to first start with the lengthening through the abs, and we curl around, so it's like a contraction. Tuck the tailbone under, lengthen in the spine, and curl and hold and release. So this is working the abs and release, getting them to contract and release. Sit-up should only be done if you've already got a strong core, and contract and release. So the transverse abdominals, we do the same thing but with a twist, so gently if you have a back problem. So we're going to lift, gently twist, and then contract. So we're shortening in the muscle and contract. And on the other side, so you can bring the arms up if you like, lift and twist and contract. And lift, twist, contract. So we're contracting those abs. If you can do it a bit stronger, we can do it lifting one leg up. So we're going to contract, lift the leg up and twist and release. Contract, lift the leg up and twist. So only do this if it's comfortable. We're really working in the abs, working in the core. And again. You can get a better feeling in the back if you do it with bent legs, so you have like a weight on the tailbone, so you can get that real curl around. And a curl, hold it and relax. You should feel these muscles working and relax, and again work and relax. And again you can do it with a twist, so lift up, curl around and twist. And the other side, lift up, curl around, let the spine lengthen, and then lengthen in the back as you curl. And twist and back to straight. You don't have to do the arms, it just gives a little extra feeling. So if you want to do that with just the lower part of the abs, it's just like a pelvic tilt standing. Just contracting the lower part of the abs. If you want to do it just with the upper part, you're curling, lifting up and curling around in the top. So you can separate the two out, or you can do them together and feel that working happening in the abs. The core, the deep core, which is a little more than the abs, should be used in every exercise you do, and it's really important for supporting the low back. It's also important to use the core in balance, so root one foot onto the floor, lift up. We're going to curl around and lift one leg up and curl and lift. So it's working the balance as well as contracting. Now if we were normally doing that, we would just be lifting the leg. What we're doing to really fully use the abs is we're curling around. And it should feel comfortable in the back. So lift up, curl around, lift up, curl around, lift up and up. So when you're using the core properly, the legs should feel lighter. And if you want to do that with more of a prance, you can. It's less easy to keep the focus on the abs. So squatting a little further with the hands on the knees so we can lengthen in the spine. Let the tailbone be relaxed, have a little wiggle, let it all shake out, and curl the tailbone in. And it's not just about curling the tailbone, it's lengthening and contracting in the abs. They go all the way from the ribs down to the pubic bone. And contract and release, contract and release. And if you want to do that with a twist, contract and twist only as far as is comfortable. Contract and twist. Contract and twist. If you want to go further, just find where it's comfortable for you. And if you're postnatal, be careful not to overdo this, particularly if you have a diastasis rectus where the abs have actually got a gap between them. So another variation, rather than twisting the upper body, is twisting the lower body. So we're going to lift the leg up and bring the shoulder down. So we're actually twisting both, and the focus is on the core, on the abs. So lengthen, twist, lift the leg, bring the arm down. Lengthen, twist, lift the leg, bring the shoulder down. And only do that if it's comfortable for working the transverse abdominals. And when you finish, we're not overextending. We're keeping the back long and just contracting and releasing. And when we release, there's still a little contraction in the abs because we need them. We need that little contraction to keep everything nice in the back. Have a good wiggle, shake it all out, let your bottom shake, let your abs shake. Wag like a dog. And to see it from a slightly different angle and find the twist that you want. Only do the arms if it's comfortable. You can just do the leg, and we're using the lower abs, the shoulder, or you can bring the arm down and bring the upper abs into it stronger. You may just go this far. Find what works for you. The important thing is to be using the muscles at the level that works for you. And doing the upper part of the abs, we're going to reach the arm out and twist and bend the knees and twist. So we're getting a little bit of the lower abs, and by bringing the arm up, we're getting a little extra work on the upper abs. The other side. Keep that strength in the core. And if you want to go further, you could come further down. Just make sure that your back feels comfortable and that you're working in the right place. Really working in the abs. So lifting the leg up is also part of the lower abs movement. So you may just lift a little bit, keep the abs working, or you could just lift your legs up with bent knees, or you can lift them up. Make sure you keep the strength in your back. If you start to lose the core, just like in sit-ups, you lose the core and then you start to strain your back. So make sure that's all nice and relaxed. Coming on all fours, stretching out the abs a little with the cat-cow, so lengthen through the spine. As you inhale, lift the tailbone, lengthening spine, lift the chest, lift the head. Curl around, use the tailbone, then the chest, then the head. So there's a bit of a contraction with the abs there too. Then we lengthen, lift the tailbone, lift the chest, lift the head. We're lengthening in the spine and we're also lengthening in the abs. And curl around. And adding into that with the legs coming in to contract in the abs on one side and take them up to give an extra stretch. Curl around the abs, tuck the head in, tuck the knee in, stretch through the abs. Curl around and stretch up. On the other side, curl around, bring the knee towards the head and lengthen and lift up. Curl around the abs first, head in, knee in, lengthen and lift up. So we've got that movement of the cat-cow, lengthening through the spine and lifting through the abs. A way to stretch the abs is a modified plank or a modified up dog. So we're going to lean forwards and you need to have the spine lengthening so there's space. This may not work for you if your back isn't strong enough or flexible enough. Have a little wiggle. Another way to do it would be to put your hands on blocks and keep that lift and lengthen through the spine. Only look up if it's comfortable and your shoulders are down. If you can take a full up dog, you can get more length in it. Make sure your back feels okay with that. And sit back into pose of a child, lengthening through the spine, lengthening through the front of the body, and come back up. Before you're ready to do sit-ups, it's good to do roll backs and roll ups, so that will be crunches. So sitting nice and tall, holding the knees, we're going to lift up through the core and then we're going to curl around. That same movement we did standing. And then come back up. So we're lengthening in the spine, contracting the abs, keep the neck and shoulders nice and relaxed. And come up. If you can go further, you release your hands and you go back. And you only go as far as where there's no strain. So working the muscles, no strain in the back. The opposite would be from laying down. So just curl up and down. Contract the upper abs and down. You can bring the arms up and only go as far as you can without getting any strain in the back. We can do a pelvic tilt, also to use the lower part of the abs. And we can lift up with the pelvic tilt and contract and lengthen, contract, lengthen, make sure the back stays long and come down. We can take one hand behind the head and do the upper abs on a twist, so the transverse, so crunch and lift up. We're still doing a little bit of the lower, crunch and lift up, and you go as far as you can. You may want to lift the leg up if that's good for you. Then we're getting both parts on the other side. Just the arm, lift and twist. Keep that focus on the abs. If you put your hand on it, you can feel it working, and bring the leg up and up and up. Boat pose or modified boat pose, Navasana, is a good way to work the abs. As soon as you lose control and start going into the back, you've gone too far. So you can have your feet down, hold your legs, lift in the core, lift the chest, or you can have your feet off the floor. You can straighten your arms, you can straighten your legs, or you could hold the back of the legs. As soon as you lose control, you've lost it. So find what works for you, and you've got a constant work on those abs, on that core. And you could straighten the legs and bend them, or you can lift up for a relax and check your posture. Stretching out the abs again, Cobra, so forearms down and lift up. Make sure that you're pressing your pubic bone into the floor, tucking the tailbone under so you're lengthening in the spine and getting that stretch through the abs. If your back's okay with it, you can lift up a little to the side and the other side. Always good to have a good wiggle. After that, you should feel some really good connection with your abdominal muscles and with your transverse abdominals. To give a stretch to the transverse abs, bend the knees, lift up, twist around, bring the hand outside your leg and gently lift and twist. So getting all the stretch through the abs, come back to the front, take your hand outside the leg, lift and gently twist. And release and have a good wiggle. You can also have a good stretch up and lengthen and release. If you have a condition that means it's less easy for you to do laying or the standing exercises, there's a lot we can do in the chair, and it's very important to work the core and work the abs even in a chair. So sitting up nice and tall, feet on the ground, we're doing that same movement of lift and lengthen and then contract in the abs. Tuck the tailbone under a little to get that contraction, and it should be nice and freeing in the back, and then come back to neutral. Lift and curl around, so we're contracting in the abdominals. Lift up, curl around, contract these muscles and release. You can feel with your hands that they're actually working underneath your hands. And to come for the transverse, we lift up, gently twist. You may not twist far, it doesn't matter, we get that action, and gently contract around and release. And again, lift, twist, contract. You can stay facing that way, or if it's comfortable you can come back straight and then twist. And the other side, staying in that direction, contracting the transverse abdominals, or come back and twist around. Gently in the back, strongly in the core. If you can go further, you may want to lift and twist and bring the elbow down and curl around. It's like you're curling around the abs. If you can go further and work from the lower part, we can lift the leg up, contract in the abs. If you need to hold on the chair, you can. And if the leg doesn't lift up very far, don't worry. Lift up, doing the contraction in the abs. And if you want to do it with a twist, lift up, twist, and the other side. If you need to take a rest in between, just important to listen to your body. Contract around the transverse abs. If you can go further, You can take the leg and the arm. Just find what works for you. Keep the back nice and soft and relaxed, and the core nice and strong. The core is the most important support for your back. Have a good wiggle. Let it all hang out. It's good if you've got a swivel chair. Give a little wiggle through your spine. A wiggle's a good thing to release all the tension through the fascia. We can do a pelvic tilt in the chair, so we're lifting up and then contracting and just lifting the tailbone a little bit forwards and release, and again lift. So this is working the lower part of the abs. Lift, and if you want to twist the upper body slightly, as long as it's comfortable in the spine, then you're getting a different angle, and the other side getting that twist. Only do what's comfortable, and we can do just the upper abs by curling around and curling, come up, curl and come up. If you want to do the upper part with a twist, you can do that. It's going to work a little in the lower part as well, which just depends where we put our focus. The core moves the legs, so we can use a little leg lift using the core. It's going to get a little bit of the transverse as well as in walking. And if it only just comes up a little bit, don't worry, just focus on the core. And if you can go straight, that gives a little more. Make sure your back's strong, core working, and just find where you can be with that. If it's comfortable, you can bring a little bit more focus to the upper abs by bringing your arms forwards. Lift up and reach forwards from this area of the upper abs, and lengthen in the spine. Lengthen and curl and release. And you can do that also with a slight twist. Lift up, lengthen, curl. We always want to have a relax between a work. We work a muscle and we relax it. On the other side, we work it and we release. We work it and release. If we keep the muscle working all the time, we run out of the energy in the muscle, so we need to have a little relax so it can recharge itself. If you're strong enough in your core and your back feels okay, you can do a little run on the spot using the core. Bring your hand on the core and you'll feel it. That's just a quick and easy abs workout. Thank you so much. Please subscribe, like, write in the comments below, and go across to my other channels. I have Instagram, Lynn Bridgeford. I have Facebook channels for the clinic, for the yoga, and interact with me on all the channels, and I would be happy to connect with you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Thank you so much.